This is the second government shutdown since Trump's second administration in office, just a year after being sworn in. The United States federal government has entered a partial shutdown despite a last-ditch funding deal approved by the United States Senate, after a key immigration and border security bill attached to the package remains unsigned, leaving portions of the government without legal authority to spend. The Senate late Friday passed a stopgap funding measure intended to keep most federal operations running, while lawmakers continue negotiations on contentious policy provisions. However, because the package includes immigration-related legislation that has not yet completed the full legislative and executive approval process, funding lapsed for several agencies, triggering a partial shutdown at midnight. What the Senate approved. The Senate-backed deal combines short-term government funding with measures aimed at tightening border enforcement and adjusting asylum procedures. Supporters argue the immigration provisions are critical to addressing pressure at the southern border and ensuring broader political support for keeping the government open. Essential services such as national defense, air traffic control, border security operations, and entitlement programs like Social Security continue to operate. But several non-essential federal agencies and programs began shutdown procedures, placing thousands of federal workers on furlough and suspending selected public services and grant processing. The unresolved immigration bill has become the central obstacle to fully reopening the government. While the Senate approved the combined package, final authorization, including required signatures, has not yet occurred, leaving the funding agreement incomplete. House leaders and the White House remain divided over the scope of the immigration provisions, with critics arguing the measures go too far, while supporters say they are necessary to secure border integrity and prevent future funding standoffs. Even a short-lived shutdown can have economic consequences, including delayed federal payments, disruptions to contractors, and reduced consumer confidence. Analysts warn that prolonged uncertainty could further strain an economy already navigating inflation concerns and elevated interest rates. Politically, the episode underscores how immigration policy has become deeply intertwined with must-pass legislation, increasing the risk of shutdowns when consensus cannot be reached. Lawmakers are expected to resume negotiations in the coming days to finalize the immigration bill and complete the funding process. Until the remaining steps are resolved, affected agencies will remain partially shuttered, and federal workers will continue to face uncertainty. For now, Washington is once again grappling with the familiar reality of a shutdown driven not by lack of funding alone, but by unresolved political divisions over immigration policy. What could this mean for the market in the coming week? This shutdown happened just days after the newly appointed Fed chairman. The market is yet to recover from that change and is followed by a shutdown. What are your thoughts?